Games of rugby were hard to find in December 2010, with snow dominating throughout the month, but amid the Wight was a little green oasis known as Netherdale, and the pitch's undersoil heating enabled us to get some rugby played, including the annual WAVERLEY Cup match between Gala and Melrose, this year refereed by Hoyk official David Crudge. And right from the kick-off, Melrose got the perfect start, benefiting from a Gala infringement, and before most of the spectators had settled in their seats, up popped Scott Wight to put his team 3-0 in front. Although this game was officially billed as a friendly, both teams were taking the match very seriously, putting out their strongest available sides. And Melrose coach Craig Chalmers, watching from his lofty position, was no doubt keen to avoid a third straight defeat following losses against Curry and Munster A. It was a hugely competitive battle in the pack, and the number 10 duel between Melrose skipper Scott Wight and young Gala fly half Lee Miller would also be a key feature of the game. Miller's accurate kicks to touch have been well noted by many following Borders rugby this season. And while the Gala forwards have been scoring plenty of tries this season, the backs are just as capable of doing some damage, and centre Alan Emond is always good value when testing the opponent's defences. Quick ball from the breakdown is essential to keep things moving, and Peter Palapoi loves nothing more than to try out Route 1 to make those extra metres up the park. Melrose hadn't been able to train on grass for 2 weeks, and were glad to get back into the swing of things. Testing kick from Wight couldn't have been better, with Craig Dodds only able to get his fingers to it before it rolled into touch. From this position, Melrose are always dangerous, and their talented backs are capable of attacking from all angles. Here, Christie, Wight and Jamie Murray combined to almost score at first time of asking. Gala held out, but recycled ball set up another opportunity. Emond and Walton defended well here, but again quick ball gave Christie a chance to flick out to DL, and Melrose were over for their first try. It was all very, very simple, straightforward stuff, exactly what the visitors wanted, and with DL scoring against his old club in just 7 minutes, there were certainly a few worried faces in the ground, fearing this could turn into a bit of a rout. Wight kicked the 2 points, and already Melrose were into double figures and looking to turn the screw a little more. But Gala had a chance to stem the tide a few minutes later, with Lee Miller given a simple kick at goal. But he put it wide of the right-hand post. He made amends though a few minutes later with a fantastic up and under to test out Callum Anderson. And the Gala support absolutely loved the outcome of that. Melrose were penalised, and Miller made no mistake this time round. But anything Miller can do, so can Wight, and the 10-point gap was restored with another penalty. There was plenty of running rugby on show, and Scott Wight's flat pass here to Graham Dodds was adjudged to have been marginally forward. The replay showed how close it was. But Hayden Mitchell's disapproval of the referee's decision, which everyone could hear, cost his side 3 points, with another Lee Miller penalty going over. There's no doubt Scott Wight was on top form with his kicking, only missing 1 from 8 attempts all game, and the one he missed struck the post and actually led to a try. Earlier on, we saw Christie give DL a scoring pass. It was time to return the favour, taking advantage of uncharacteristic poor Gala defensive play. And once again, Wight scored the conversion. Gala's unbeaten record at Netherdale was looking a little fragile, but just before the interval, the Maroons were thrown a lifeline. Full marks to Christie for taking a quick tap penalty, but this time a misunderstanding with John DL sent the ball loose, and the alert and enterprising Miller pounced, kicked the ball forward a couple of times and dived on it to bring his side back into the game. Miller had scored all his team's 13 points against Peebles in their last match, and he was all set to do the same against Melrose as well, and it was no surprise when he landed the conversion to bring Gala back to within 7 points. He missed a late second-half penalty, so the score at the break was 20-13 to Melrose. Into the second half, and a solid catch by Gary Graham gave his brother George good service, and a promising back move was underway. Lee Miller looped around David Marshall, but Alan Eamon knocked on to bring to an end a promising attack. But there was plenty of belief, and Ewan McQuillan, newly switched to hooker, was about to set the ball rolling again for Gala. Lee Miller showed he's not a one-trick pony by demonstrating his ability to take on opponents, and he did well here to retain possession and set up good second phase ball. Gary Graham and Gavin Young sent Melrose further back, and when Melrose were penalised for not rolling away, George Graham was keen to take a quick one, only to be stopped illegally by Jamie Murray, something which didn't get universal approval from Gala. The end result, a yellow card for Murray, and Gala hoping to benefit with a man advantage for the next 10 minutes. Tom Weir picked up the base of this scrum and fed Craig Dodds, who put in a long kick chased by Gavin Young. But it went straight to former Gala player Fraser Thompson, and he had just one thought in mind: to see how many players he could beat on his way upfield. On this occasion the answer was 3 before he was tackled, but it helped set up a more positive venture into the Gala half of the field, and when Christie, Wight and Anderson linked up, they got into the red zone. Gala won the ball illegally, and Scott Wight stepped up to make it 23-13. Back came the Netherdale men, and Lee Miller passed to Gavin Young, who had every chance of scoring. But Melrose infringed, and Miller scored his and his team's 16th point of the game. Soon after, a moment of madness from number 8 Tom Weir. In an offside position, he blatantly got involved when he shouldn't have, and it was now Gala who were one short on the park. Gala did manage a heel against the head late on, and full marks to them for running from deep, with Graham and Young setting out on a journey up the field. But once again, sloppy passing brought this move to an end. And while Gala may have the best defensive record of all Border Premier teams so far this season, they won't have been happy with the way Callum Anderson cruised in with ease for Melrose's third try, converted by Wight. As the fog came down in the dying moments, Gala conceded another score, this time the Melrose pack combining to give Gary Holborn the try, with Scott Wight adding the extras with the last kick of the game to retain the Waverley Cup.
We knew Gala would be in our faces, and they're a good side, they're a well-drilled side with George Graham, and all credit to them, they're probably going to come up this year, so it's great for Border Rugby. Ourselves, we've not really trained. We trained in the snow on Friday, which is hard going, it's hard underneath, and we've not had any grass. This is the first time we've been in grass for about a month. So we'll take the win. I mean, 37 points against Gala, it's a good win for us.
I think as a team we'll go in, we'll be disappointed that we've lost at home for the first time this season. I mean, we said in the change rooms before the game, you know, the only team in Scotland that's still got that. So bitterly disappointed about that. But at the end of the day, you know, if you let a team like Melrose, who are, you know, one of the top teams in the country, if you let them get a couple of scores in front, it's going to be really hard to come back. And you know, we weren't too pleased with our defence today. But you know, I think we got beat off the better team today.
The young 10, Liam Miller, kicked the corners really well, so they'll do well if they come up, if they can strengthen in certain areas. They'll give teams good games down here.
We're in a great position in that the league split. You know, it's, you know, we're up there joint top in the league at the moment, so you know, we've got to stay there, and it's up to us. And, you know, if we play like that against the teams that we're playing against, you know, we'll do well hopefully, and you know, we'll really target to go up this year.